Here we go. Welcome back to White Claw Wednesday, episode number 55.
Oh,
Ryan's got his background now, matching the studio background behind me.
what's going on? I put the study back in the background, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good call. I see you drinking a little watermelon. I got a
Yeah,
little
I was
mango
about to
today.
say, what do you got going on over there?
Mango.
Dude, so we got like 2 packs here for, the podcast, and they're in the pantry, and I was just craving one the other night, and so I got one, and I asked if anyone else wanted one, and Amanda's mom wanted a claw, and I was like, okay, cool, because I rave about them,
Nice.
obviously, and she also listens to the podcast, and she's drinking it, and she did not like it, dude.
Oh,
But
damn.
she's like Amanda. She likes a bunch of, it has to be really sweet, for her,
Okay.
for it to like taste good,
What didn't she like about it?
I mean, she just said it was refreshing. She's like, it's refreshing, but it's not, it doesn't taste really good,
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, Ryan, I have to ask. I know you're not a NFL guy or anything, but
Go Brady,
did-
bro.
did you watch the Did you watch the
definitely didn't
games?
watch it. No. I
Okay, you didn't watch either game?
No, but I mean, I know what happened.
Yeah, I mean, the
What happened, dude? What happened?
it's Brady was pretty much serving the game up to the Packers on a silver platter in the second half.
He wasn't
He
doing
threw
well.
he threw 3 interceptions in a row,
Wow.
and it was all and the Packers couldn't score off any of those interceptions.
They didn't score
And I
off
was-
one of them.
Not one of them. So I was like,
Damn.
man, you guys are just trying to lose,
I mean, hey.
And then they had the ball. They're down 23-31
Yeah.
with just a couple minutes to go in the fourth quarter, just over 2 minutes.
Mhm.
And it's a 4th and 8 or so. So they got 8 yards, 4th and goal. But there's about 8 yards to go to the end zone. So they got 8 yards to get to the end zone. And it's 4th down, and the Packers head coach decides to send the field goal unit out there and cut it to a 5-point game. And then rely on his defense to keep Brady from getting just a first down. Because pretty much Brady just needs a couple first downs, and he just needs to run out the clock at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just
Why would
crazy
he
to
do
me that, yeah, why didn't he go for the touchdown? Because you go for the touchdown there because it's just a better option. Mathematically, it's a better option because if you go for the touchdown, let's say you don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucs and Brady, they get the ball inside the 5-yard line, right up against their own end zone.
Right.
So they have to go pretty much 95 yards to get
right.
another touchdown. So you have a great chance to stop them defensively right there, get the ball back, boom. Now you're trying again to get 8 points. And let's say they get the touchdown. Now they're down by 2 points. They go for the 2-point conversion. Let's say they don't get the 2-point conversion. They have to kick it off to the Bucs. Now they're on defense, down by 2. If they get a stop, if they get a 3 and out, they get the ball back. They're driving to get into field goal range to kick the game-winning field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say they get the touchdown and get the 2-point conversion. It's a tie ball game.
Right.
Boom.
Right.
That's the
Right.
best case scenario.
Right.
So I just laid out 3 scenarios, all better than kicking the field goal and cutting the score to 5 and giving the ball back to the greatest quarterback of all time and saying, I dare you not to get a first down and win the game. And he did exactly that. He got a couple first downs and closes out the game. Aaron Rodgers doesn't even get to go back on the field. And it wasn't even communicated between Aaron Rodgers and his head coach, Matt LaFleur, that it wasn't 4-down territory. So 4-down territory basically means that if you get 4th down, you're still going for it. And there was no communication. Like Rodgers was thinking, oh, we're going 4-down territory. Obviously, we're trying to tie this game.
Right.
And then, boom, it gets the 4th down, and head coach Matt is calling the offense off the field. And it's just like, oh, man. So plenty of people are very mad at the Packers head coach. Yeah.
I'm sure the internet is just roasting the crap out of everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Dang, dude. That's crazy.
And you, of course, know that the Chiefs handled the Bills.
Yes, I do.
I mean, they handled the Bills. And talk about another weird coaching performance. Going for field goals. McDermott, head coach of the Bills, they've been aggressive all year offensively, and you have to score touchdowns to keep up with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And they're just kicking field goals. There were multiple options where they could have gone for fourth downs, and they didn't do it. I think it's because they failed the very first time in the very beginning of the game at midfield. And after that, it was just like, okay, we're not doing the fourth down. But it's just like you gotta
go for it.
You got buried because you weren't going for it. And so now I made my prediction that if the Bills, I thought the Bills were the only team that was left that could beat the Chiefs, just because of Josh Allen's, how young he is, and I thought he was the quarterback who could keep up offensively with Mahomes the best. That was obviously wrong thanks to the coaching of McDermott. But now I'm just worried that Mahomes is just going to breeze through the Super Bowl. You know,
I honestly think he is. I really do. And you know what, Frank?
Like, imagine Brady throwing 3 picks in the Super Bowl. Mahomes is scoring on at least 2 of those.
Yeah, easily.
So it's like, it's just I
can tell you're so frustrated right now.
Well, I'm frustrated because it's like, it's one thing to have Mahomes repeat as a Chargers fan. It's a bummer, but it's like I would rather have it happen off like a sweet close game. I mean, I guess I'm completely.
That's what I always hope for.
Kind of
just a good game, you know.
I'm kind of exactly. I'm already discrediting Tom Brady, as many did before he proved himself this season with taking the Bucs to the Super Bowl, and again he's going to be the underdog. It's interesting because because Patrick Mahomes is just that good. So this is really going to kind of be the test of. It's either going to bring Patrick Mahomes one step closer to being just as good as Brady, or it's going to just take Brady and make him a little bit farther away from Mahomes.
Could you imagine if Tom Brady won? I mean, could people even? I mean, are we just going to do this again next season? Are people just going to count him out and then he's going to win again? You know?
Yeah, he's just going to come right back. He has another ridiculous year on his contract, so it's likely he's back next season. And, people have been doubting him, and here he is again. And right now I think the Chiefs are 3-point favorites, which is generally – that mean? It means that if you bet on the Chiefs, you have to give up 3 points to the Buccaneers.
Oh,
so like
right.
when the game starts, it's 3-0. Buccaneers are winning already for you. Basically,
I got you.
That. But that's pretty much – It'll probably fluctuate a little bit around there. I think it will. I think it should stay there, just because of how good the Bucs offense could be, and the Bucs defense is the reason they've won their last 2 games pretty much. So I think I was watching them play against the Packers, and I was getting a little bit of excitement. I was thinking, man, maybe this defense is good enough to beat the Chiefs. And then the Chiefs came on as the second game of the day, and then I was like, ooh, wait, maybe not. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to judge. Dude, I think this is karma, man. You know? I don't know if you remember what I told you, but I told you should have just started rooting for Mahomes and the Chiefs, and they wouldn't have won.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But, you know,
but here I am.
This is what happens, Frank.
Rooting against... Yeah, I should try the opposite. That will be the test of luck. But that would mean I would have to root for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and I can't do that. Like I can't do that.
Well, at that point, maybe you could back out. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no strings attached with stuff like that.
True. I find Tom Brady too impressive not to root for him. You know, even though I think
he really is. Honestly,
they might get. Even though I think him and his Bucs might get blown out, but I'm still gonna root for him, and I still think he's got a shot to do it because it's Tom Brady, and this is his 10th Super Bowl. 10.
That's insane.
And this is his 21st season.
That is insane.
So he's gone to the Super Bowl 10 of the 21 seasons he's been an NFL quarterback.
That's almost 50%. Almost every other year.
Yeah. It's like, it's crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah, and then if he wins this one, he'll be 7 for 10 in the Super Bowl, which is a passing grade in school.
I mean, people were telling him to retire. I mean,
yes.
That's insane. And now he's in another Super Bowl, you know? I wonder how many he wants. Like, if you could get in the mind of Tom Brady, how many are you thinking right now? I'm thinking 2 more. I mean, he just got to a Super Bowl with a new team the first year he's been on it, you know?
Yeah. To me, I bet he's like a 1 year at a time kind of guy. And that's probably
just taken day by day.
Taken day, and that's the way
Eating
he's
his
been able
almonds.
to make it to 10 Super Bowls out of 21 seasons. Is that he doesn't think about the future, and the only future he's thinking about is like the end of the season and making it to the Super Bowl. It's like every year that mindset restarts. Because I think if you're like thinking of like a big goal, like a number, like, oh, I'm gonna get 5 or I'm gonna get 3, you can't focus on one.
Oh wow, that's a good point. Did Tom Brady get a nice payday moving to the Buccaneers? I know I'm super late on this, but
Oh, what you're asking me? What his contract is?
yeah.
It's $50 million, 2 years.
Wow.
So he's getting 25 mil a year.
Damn. What do you do with that kind of cash, dude? Like, what do you do?
You pay your electric bill for your giant mansion. I know that's probably pretty high.
You don't worry about shutting lights off, I guess.
Yeah, you don't worry about shutting lights off, and also you pay for a team of doctors and human body experts to just keep you in the best physical shape possible.
Sports therapists. Yeah.
Because just like I said last podcast when talking about how the Bucs were able to beat the Saints, and I was comparing how Drew Brees was throwing it compared to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Drew Brees being a year younger, he can't even throw the ball 20 yards. Meanwhile, Tom Brady's throwing 60-yard bombs at the end of halftime, which was a crazy moment. And like at the end of the halftime with the game that just happened, the Packers and the Bucs.
Mm-hmm.
8 seconds left, 4th down. Brady just throws a 50-yard pass to Scotty Miller, who beats his defender.
Wow.
And this defender, for some reason, didn't play deep, which you should play. If there's 8 seconds left, you want to play deep because you don't want to give up touchdown as time expires.
Because there's like basically one play left.
Yeah, one play left, exactly.
Right.
And this guy plays him tight and just gets beat off the line. And it's just, and then that pretty much was the touchdown that made the difference in the game because the Patriots end up winning by 5 points, and that was a 6-point touchdown. So it's just boom. Yeah,
I hope Tom Brady wins. I really do.
I do too, and it's
because last season I was rooting for Mahomes. But I gotta go Tom Brady now. I'm a full subscriber of he is the GOAT, and I feel like he's just gonna prove it again.
I'm so down for it. And the thing that helps is that everybody else on his team really wants to win a Super Bowl too.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
that's what's like. That's the cool thing about the Super Bowl is really anybody can win because it's such a big stage that anybody can step up and anybody can have an incredible game. Just look at the Eagles beating Tom Brady.
Yeah.
That was an example of Nick Foles just being like, yeah, I'm the backup who's going to win a Super Bowl. Like, this is my shot here. And he took it and he made it. So it's just like anything can happen.
And they ran that trick play. Oh, my God.
Yeah, they ran that trick
play.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
That was fire.
That got there's a statue of the head coach, Doug Peterson, telling Nick Foles to run that play at the end of the first half of the Super Bowl. And that statue is outside of the Philadelphia Eagles Stadium.
Get out of here. Are you serious?
Yeah. And they just
is it
fired.
Them talking or what?
Yeah, it's them. It's the two of them standing next to each other on the sidelines right before Nick Foles is about to go in to run the play, and Peterson's telling him what play to run.
Yeah.
And they just fired that head coach. Believe it or not.
I mean, I believe it.
I mean, it just shows you how quick things can change at sports. You can go from first to worst.
So you know Chelsea FC, right? My favorite soccer team.
Of course, yeah.
So we had a club legend, is as he's described, as head coach for the past 18 months, and a super new coach. Like, it was sort of unheard of that he got the job, but he got the job because he was a club legend. But he only had like a year of management experience, and he did well his first season, and then now we're in ninth in the Premier League, and they already fired him in 18 months. I know. So,
wow, the standards are even higher over there.
I know. Well, yeah,
Jeez.
Chelsea is tough because if you're not winning, you're gonna get fired. Like, I think we've gone through like 10 managers in like 15 years. I mean, it's something crazy.
Wow, 10 managers in 15 years. Oh my God.
I think it's got to be something close to that.
That's like you're not even averaging 2 years a coach.
Exactly. It's really like that. Usually managers will have one good season and then they'll drop off the next season and then they'll get fired.
Wow.
But we do good, So
Yeah.
you can't really argue against it. I mean, you can, but yeah. So
True.
hopefully Brady wins. I'm rooting for the Buccaneers, even though, like, honestly, I thought they were sort of I don't want to say no name organization before this, just because I live in California, but they weren't like one of my, picks. But I'm all about Tom Brady.
They were one of the last when I was first getting into NFL. It doesn't matter. But when I was first getting into NFL, they were one of the last teams that I like fully cemented in my mind as like they're a team in the league. They were one of the. But that was a time when they weren't good.
Also, I don't like their flag, their emblem, their.
Oh, you don't like the pirate flag with the skull and the sword crossbones?
I don't like it. No.
Really?
Not a fan, really.
Wow, I dig it.
It's a little too it's just typical. I don't know. Typical or childish, one or the other. I don't know.
Okay, I think it's I'm a fan of it. Mostly because I've never seen it anywhere else besides the Buccaneers. Because sometimes you see football logos reused in other places. Like Georgia. Georgia has the same G. The college Georgia. Has the same G as the Packers.
Yeah. That's true.
And then there was our old elementary school that we went to, Victoria Elementary. There was a T-shirt.
Shout out.
Yeah, there was a T-shirt when we were going there that used the Philadelphia Eagle symbol.
Yeah.
On the T-shirt. So yeah, it's just to me, I'm waiting to see someone use the Buccaneers symbol. Maybe you're right. Maybe people don't like it. That's why they're not taking it and running with it.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard of this like Navalny situation in Russia?
No, please. You gotta fill me in. I have no idea.
I mean, I don't really know much about it, but I've been reading on Reddit and. Okay, basically, you know how like Putin's in charge, right? Putin's like been.
Yeah, I don't think his technical term is a dictator, right?
Exactly, but you said it perfectly. Technically, he's not, but he basically is. Yeah. Like he's been their leader for, I want to say like 20 years. Don't quote me on that, but it's been a long time, And first he was president, I believe, and then he was prime minister, and then now he's back to being president. I don't know what, something like that, something crazy, dude.
So he's like changing positions to stay in charge.
He's like finding loopholes to keep power, and he's like super rich. He's like extremely wealthy. He's like money hungry, and obviously doesn't want to give up power, right? And so, there's this guy in like the opposition party. There called Navalny, and I hope I'm saying that right.
Navalny.
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 Navalny. Navalny.
Okay. Navalny. Okay.
And he's been like, creating stuff to like out the, corruption and stuff like that. He's basically like the anti-corruption like party leader is what I'm getting. And he was the election is going to come up, right? And he was there was an attempted assassination on him. He was poisoned, dude. Can you believe that?
Whoa, poisoned.
Yeah. He was poisoned, man. And
is he okay?
He's alive, right?
Okay.
He's alive. And I guess this isn't something that's crazily like unheard of in Russia. Like I was reading and it was like, oh, here are some other instances of people being poisoned,
Yeah, I think they go harder over in Russia.
Well, they do, but
in terms of like spy stuff and stuff, you're like, wait, I only thought that happened in the movies. No, It actually happens in Russia.
Yeah, like Russia doesn't give a shit. So there was an attempted assassination on him. He lived, and he had to leave the country to go to Germany to heal, right? Because he was just poisoned, really badly.
Gotta detoxify.
Yeah. And plus, he doesn't want to be in Russia anymore, because people just poisoned him. So now he's healed, and on his flight back to Russia, right, he went back to Russia and got arrested immediately. Can you believe that?
Like, probably as soon as he walked stepped off the plane.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, he's coming back. Like, get him, And so now there's like mass uproar about it because obviously he's got a lot of like people that, want him to be in charge because he's like outing all this corruption. He's outing how Putin's just money hungry. He's outing, the wealth that he has and all this stuff. And so now there's like mass chaos. And even in the United States, there's been like protests to like, so we should, emphasize freeing him, or we should do something like, diplomatically to free him, which is just insane, man. I mean,
So
can you imagine that happening here?
He's trying to put an end to Putin's reign, and
Yeah.
it seems like Russia is trying to, keep him quiet and shut it up.
I think, it's like the establishment in Russia, like, I don't know if they're considered communist party there, because I know they have some sort of democratic ways, but
I wonder if Putin just pays the right people.
oh, it's pay to play, dude. It's high key pay to play, or kill to play.
Yeah, because if you got your country, if Russia's just arresting him as soon as he lands, and I mean, I'm not trying to Americanize everything, but if America is thinking that this guy is the good guy in this scenario, and he's getting arrested right when he lands in his home, then clearly Putin's got money in the right places,
Yeah, so here's Wikipedia on him. Alexei Anatolovich Navalny is a Russian opposition leader, politician, lawyer, and anti-corruption activist. He came into the international prominence by organizing demonstrations and running for office to advocate reforms against corruption in Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin, the Putin's government, Navalny has been described as the man Vladimir Putin fears most.
Well, that must be
I guess he's
true.
a YouTuber too. He has 6 million YouTube subscribers and more than 2 million Twitter followers.
So he's got a nice side gig going.
I guess so. He's got some side income.
Wow, yeah, 6 million YouTube subscribers is enough to be your main income.
Yeah, so he was poisoned, dude. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can. I mean, if you're trying to expose Vladimir Putin,
That's true. Yeah.
yeah, man. I mean, I would expect to get poisoned too. Jeez, that's intense.
Do you ever imagine like you're president of the United States? Like you got to do something about that. Like what the do you do? Like what is your move? Like I wouldn't even know what to do. Because you can't just like declare war on Russia.
No.
Or
Definitely.
say something crazy about Putin.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's this guy.
Weren't ready for that one or what?
No, I'm just imagining like what. I'm trying to think of the poisons that you could know, like you could ingest the poison and then you could survive the poison. I'm not a poison expert, Ryan, but
No,
I do
neither
know
am I.
I do know that rat poison is highly effective, and I'm pretty sure that rat poison. I don't know if you can survive it once you swallow it.
I have no idea.
So I don't know. Maybe this guy, either this dude who's trying to expose Putin, this YouTuber,
Mm-hmm.
name starts with an N, right?
Navalny, yeah.
Yeah, Navalny. He is either very skilled, or the person poisoning him, attempting to poison him, is very not skilled, to put it.
Yeah, like how do you
well.
fail? Like how do you
Yeah.
fail at poisoning someone?
Exactly.
Like isn't there like a lethal dose? Like you gotta know that if you're an assassin,
And aren't you going with the kind of poison that's as soon as like it touches their lips or something like that, they're dead, or as soon as it's there's like
dude,
anything? Because
did
like
you
what if
see
it's
that?
like he has like a glass to drink, and the
Yeah.
assassin's like thinking, oh, he has to drink the whole glass. If he drinks half the glass, he might make it. It's like, what kind of poison is that?
Yeah, if I was an assassin, I would go like a blow dart, just
Yeah. Dude, that's one of my favorite parts from Get Smart.
Yeah.
When Steve Carell inhales the blow dart.
Yeah.
He's like gonna have to. He's like gonna have to really, really get in the pipes for this one. And he just. Oh man.
I also love the scene where he's in the airplane in the bathroom, and he's trying to break out of his like
Out of
zip ties
his zip
because
tie
he was
cuffs,
screaming
yeah.
gun, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's using his crossbow that came out of the Swiss Army
Swiss
knife.
Army
He
knife, yeah.
shoots it like
It's
it
going
goes
all
right
in
into
him.
his cheek. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he shoots the little button that opens
Yeah.
up the compartment for him to fall out of the plane.
Oh man,
Dude,
you know what?
Get Smart is a great movie.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Movies, yeah.
I've seen
I was
it a
gonna
number of
say.
times.
Speaking about poison, did you see the video of I honestly I don't know the context of it, but there was like some mob boss in Europe, and it was a United Nations court, and he was being sentenced to like, X, Y, and Z. Basically, like you're going to prison for life.
Uh-huh.
This dude like drinks poison. He
Wow.
drinks poison in court. He like says something like crazy, drinks poison, and then doesn't say anything, and the the judge just starts like continuing because he didn't know what happened. So he started continuing, and then he's like, "I just drank poison," and the judge is like, "What? Is he serious?" Everyone starts like, you hear like ruffling and stuff, and then they like adjourn to get him like medical help and stuff. But isn't that insane that shit actually happens?
Yeah. It sounds like something like a sleeper agent, or not a sleeper agent, but an agent of an evil organization gets kidnapped, and then they have like one of those cyanide pills that they pop out of, like they have a tooth and they break the tooth, and then it has the poison in it, and they swallow it and they die, and they can't give it any information.
Dude, have you seen Tenet?
No, I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
Yes, I saw it, dude. I saw it.
Did you like it?
I liked it. Yeah, I liked it.
Okay.
Did you have the
Did you have the subtitles on?
I did have the subtitles on. Yes.
I heard it was super hard to. The sound mixing was terrible, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I'm surprised I haven't told you yet because I watched it on the plane over here, and then I watched.
Oh,
Tron
you watched it
after.
on the plane over. Oh, okay, yeah. You know
Yeah.
what you did? You told me about Tron. I remember you told me about Tron last episode, but I can't remember you telling me about Tenet.
Yeah, so I watched Tenet on the plane, which probably wasn't the best idea, just because of the whole sound mixing thing. And
Wait,
they
I have a
give you,
question.
like-
Did
yeah.
they include the scene where the plane was blowing up?
Did they include the scene where the plane is
Because
blowing up?
there is a scene where a 757 crashes
Yeah.
through a building.
Yeah.
They had that scene in there.
Is that like the extended cut or something?
No, I'm asking because it's a movie. It's like a fun fact movie thing, where they will edit out plane crash sequences or things involving planes in distress. They'll edit those scenes out of movies for the plane run cut of the movie.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if a movie has like a scary plane crash sequence,
Yeah.
they'll cut it and they'll
Just so
put-
they don't freak people out.
so they don't freak people out.
No, they
mid-flight.
didn't do that. Wow, that's
Okay.
really interesting though.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they do that. I mean, it makes sense, but also like, who's putting the time in to do that? And I mean, you really can't.
True.
You really can't edit that scene out because it's just so critical. It's
For the
you can't-
plot.
Yeah, like you can't. I mean, nah, there's no way you could edit that out. There's no way. Without
That's probably
someone
why
being
it's
like,
not.
What just happened? Like,
Yeah.
where did this come from?
So here's my question: do you think it's
Yeah.
better than Inception?
No, I don't.
Is it more confusing than Inception?
Ooh. That's a hard question because I've seen Inception like 4 or 5 times now, and I've only seen Tenet once, and it was on a plane.
And it was on an airplane.
And I mean, they give you like the shittiest headphones ever, so I was, rocking those headphones from China.
Yeah.
I think Tenet's more confusing. Yeah, I definitely think Tenet's more confusing because even with the subtitles on, I was still kind of confused, And I do remember that feeling with Inception. I do. But I didn't like it wasn't so prominent. Like a lot of it, I was watching Tenet and I didn't understand it, and I was like, okay, just stop worrying about it. Just go from here, you know?
Just go with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And Amanda was kind of talking to me here and there, and I'd miss stuff, and
yeah.
I'd be like, oh, okay, whatever, just keep it going, you know? But really good movie, honestly, really good movie. I'm excited to have it maybe at home with subtitles where I can control the volume.
And a bigger screen.
Bigger screen, yeah. But really good movie, and I love the concept of it. It's really new. And do you know what the concept is?
Honestly, I have no idea what the movie is.
Do you
except
want
that
me?
things are moving in reverse.
Yeah, okay.
And I hate to say it, Ryan, I really don't want to know anything.
Then I won't tell you.
Okay.
And it's not time travel. Like, it's not time travel. It's not that thing,
Well,
you know.
Damn it, Ryan. Don't tell me that either. Okay, too late for that now, but shit, I thought it was. God damn it, Ryan.
I mean, it's not time travel. No, it's not time travel.
Okay. Well,
You're welcome, Frank.
You've already given me one spoiler,
You're
so
welcome.
let's stop there because I thought it was time travel. So now you've told me you've told me it isn't what I thought it was. So now, in a way, I'm more intrigued. But just
Maybe
don't tell
you'll
me
be
anything
upset at
else.
me after you watch it and be like, what the heck?
Because I'll be like, that is time travel.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess it's up to the users or the watcher's interpretation. But really good movie. And I'm
I like
What?
the sound of that because Inception is very much you can say he's dreaming the whole time or this person's dreaming the whole. Like you can come up with a lot of different theories
Yeah.
for Inception. I think
Yeah.
It's pretty much a how do you feel about it kind of
Yeah.
movie. So I'm not
And
surprised that Tenet did that same thing.
Yeah, and it's one of those like it's one of those movies where like you get to the end and then all these little scenes that didn't really make sense in the beginning start making sense. Like the way that they tie it in, like it's really cool.
Okay, damn. Well, then I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. So what you'll have to do? Oh, actually, are you flying Hawaiian here?
I don't know when I'm flying.
I think you're
don't
flying
know.
American. Frank's coming to visit me. And
Dude, I saw like a YouTube video about new travel bans, and I hope doesn't have to do with going to Hawaii.
I doubt it does.
Joe Biden putting in new travel bans.
Well, I doubt that there's interstate bans.
I didn't notice any of the areas on the map that were in red that were like United States areas. So I think it's talking about like, foreign areas.
It's foreign countries, yeah. And I doubt that Hawaii will, because Hawaii can make their own, travel bans and stuff. But I doubt Hawaii will ban travel from California, because I mean, a lot of the flights come in from LAX, or SFO. It's sometimes it'll be like a layover. Like you go here and then you'll get on the plane at LAX or in California, and then you go to Hawaii. So
you think most people who visit Hawaii are from California?
I think they fly through California. Yeah. is what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Interesting.
Not most, but a lot of the flights. Yeah, a great majority.
How has the weather been there in Hawaii? Because it's been raining here in Southern California.
So I told you about that rainstorm that we had, or the tropical storm that I claim.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, dude, it's been amazing.
So
I
it's pretty much chilled out since then.
Yeah, that was the only
Okay.
rain we had. I mean, it like sprinkled. Apparently, it sprinkled last night, but I didn't see it or anything like that.
A nice
yeah,
little
dude, it's been
island,
sunny 70.
little beach sprinkle at night seems actually kind of nice.
Oh, dude, it's beautiful here, man. Frank, you are gonna love it. Literally, we
I'm
just
very
walked.
excited.
We just walked down to the beach yesterday, and like, with like no plan, like you don't need to make a plan because it's so close. It's just like we just took Chelsea. We got like a little bag and an umbrella, 2 beach towels, and we just walked down, and we were there for like 2 hours. It was amazing.
Oh, it does sound nice.
And the stars, dude. The stars at night, like it's crazy because you
You
live
see
in
way more stars than here.
Yeah. And I mean, middle of the street, there's lamps and light posts everywhere, but
It's funny. I've noticed most places I've gone, pretty much everywhere except where I've lived, you could see the stars better.
yeah, I mean, a lot of vacation spots are like that. But I mean, Riverside has terrible. I don't know what the view is, but
Yeah,
Terrible
smog.
terrible smog, terrible light pollution. I mean, it's not a good area to look at stars, that's for sure. But I mean, it's crazy, guys. You forget how amazing it is just to look up,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're in a place and you look up and you're like, oh my God, this is what it should look like, And I'm in the middle of the street. Like we go on nighttime walks, and I'm in the middle of the street. So there's, like I said, there's lamps and light posts everywhere. And so you're getting all that light pollution, but I can still see everything, I can still see, not everything, but a lot of stuff. It's incredible, man. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, when you're in a spot with stars and you can see all the stars and it's just a good view when you look up at this night sky, it always reminds me of being in a globe, like a snow globe. It makes me feel really small in a nice way. I like it. It's like I feel like I'm looking up and I'm seeing the glass ceiling of our Earth, and then on the other side of that is the universe. That's what's so cool about Earth when you think about it as like a round planet floating. We're seeing right through, like there's nothing covering us.
It's
like I know I just used the snow globe analogy, but with a snow globe you can see through the glass still.
Yeah.
So we're really looking up into space, and it's a cool.
So you're saying Earth is a snow globe?
Earth is a snow globe all the way, for sure. Yeah. No doubt about
Dude,
it. I mean,
I
really, Earth is
these quotes. I mean, seriously, Frank, if you put these on you put them on like a motivational thing, or you have someone sitting in class just thinking, like, oh, they would go big, dude. Earth is a snow globe all the way.
Speaking about the Earth and the amazing humans that live on it.
Don't you love us?
Specifically, the humans that can just take hits and keep going.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much
for
bringing
UFC
this up.
fights this weekend.
Dude, holy shit.
So, I don't know about you, but I was pretty shocked at the way the fight ended.
I was shocked at the way
with the Conor fight ended, I should say.
Yeah, so it was Conor and Poirier, if I'm saying that right. I can never say it.
Yeah, Poirier.
But also the Dan Hooker and Chandler. I was surprised at that one too. I mean, the last two fights were really quick. They were really quick.
Yeah, they were. Chandler knocked Hooker out.
Came out just dominating. I mean, Hooker couldn't get a shot in. It was just looking bad.
He was like, running away the whole time.
Yeah, I was thinking like, because he's a really good fighter, and he's got a lot of experience too. And
I swear I saw like a highlight of Hooker's where he knocked out Poirier.
Yep, he beat Poirier.
Yeah.
So, but as you know, McGregor also beat Poirier. So
That's true.
I mean, every fight is different, and yeah, dude, I honestly wasn't expecting that either. I mean, McGregor, as he's just been gone for so long now. I mean, the thing is like it's terrible for him. And he was kind of saying it too at the end there. He's like, I haven't been fighting. I've been lackadaisical basically.
Like think about getting hit. Like your body gets used to it's like I started doing the kettlebells more with Sam and
nice.
Scott.
Yeah.
And I'm already noticing, my forearms getting used to having the kettlebells on them.
You just build up like calluses in a weird way.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a weird.
And the same thing goes with the fighting probably.
Yeah,
where Conor wasn't getting used to getting kicked or punched.
Mm-hmm.
So that dead leg he got came way faster than he would have expected, and also getting knocked out came faster than he would have expected because he just wasn't in the cycle of fighting regularly. I assume.
Yeah, he did not perform well, and I'm glad to hear that he's not, because he does this all the time where he said like he'll win a fight and then something will happen and he'll be like, I'm done, and he'll be like, UFC isn't meeting my demands or whatever, and he'll just be done, and then a year later they'll announce a fight with him, after a Twitter conversation. He's got to be consistent, and I think when he's consistent, he's going to be really great. I really do. I think that if he comes back, or fight someone else. I think he could beat Dustin. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't that like an eventful of a fight either. You know, it was McGregor was pushing forward the first round, was hitting the shots.
It felt like McGregor was going to win just watching the first round. Like, it felt like it's like, oh, he's back. You know, like he's
right. And then round
changed.
2 came around, and it was kind of, back and forth, and then Dustin hit that leg kick that I think really hurt him. And that's when because I mean, he said he broke his leg, but I don't know if that's the official. He was walking out, and as he was walking out, he saw Dustin. He's like, "You broke my leg,"
I was watching the fight so closely on the faces of the two. Like, I was watching so much of the fist, of the punching action, that I completely missed the crucial leg kick that made Conor wobbly and made it hard for him to continue to stand and fight. I completely missed it, and it was just because I was so focused on the punches for some reason. I don't know. Yeah. And it wasn't until the announcers made like, oh wow, look at Conor's leg, blah blah, like he got hit really hard. I was like, oh wow, that happened. And it was just something that was so, and I think it was because paying for the fight made me focus so much more.
Wait, you paid for it?
Yeah, I paid for the fight, dude.
You paid for the fight? Why'd you pay for the fight?
Yeah, I paid for it with Scott and Sam.
Oh my god!
And dude, you know what? Here's the funny thing: the stream was fucking up, and we thought it was Scott's internet, because Scott's internet is sometimes a little spotty, but it wasn't Scott's internet. ESPN Plus and the whole streaming pay-per-view event itself was fucking up for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was doing this weird thing.
It always does, dude.
Whenever it went to a commercial break, like it popped up like the ESPN Plus commercial break, we'll be back soon. Whenever that blue screen would pop up, the stream would immediately get choppy. And then you had to close out of it and then start it back up. And every time you got back to another one of those blue advertisement screens, it got all choppy again. And also, during like the main cards, like the last couple, like the Hooker fight and then the McGregor fight, there were a couple moments of buffering where it the symbol buffering popped up, and
isn't that just so disappointing?
Yeah, and I think it's because Dana pissed off the hackers by flexing like, oh, nobody's illegally streaming this fight, like we got you.
Yeah, right.
And I heard about one of the biggest stream posters, who post the sites of the stream. I heard that he himself, instead of posting a link to a stream, he posted the link to buy the fight.
Okay.
Meaning probably, I don't know what, but my guess is that more people bought the fight than expected and they couldn't handle it, or that just hackers fucked with it. One or the other, or maybe a mix of both. I don't know.
Yeah, it could just be that ESPN Plus can't handle all those people streaming it.
Yeah, and then Dana White came out and was like kind of flexing on people, like trying to scare people into buying it. Yeah. So that probably worked on a lot of people, just like it worked on me, Scott, and Sam. So it's like that it probably contributed. They couldn't handle it,
Well, not to totally admit that I streamed it illegally, but I did stream it illegally.
Don't do it, Ryan. I was trying to keep you from saying it.
Well, Here's the thing is when you stream it, there's always going to be terrible buffering, and so I miss like 10 seconds before Dustin starts like really wailing on Conor McGregor. Like I saw him wailing on him, but I didn't really see like the like initial blows that led up to it. So I had to see that after the fact.
Oh, okay.
So, you pay, I mean, I didn't pay anything, but you pay for what you get.
And you know what's funny? The reason why we paid for it is because of Scott.
He texted me. He texted me like, hey, you have a link?
Asking for the link. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm working right now. What are you talking about? Thought you may have it. I told him where to go, and I went to the exact same thing. And I got it, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, we were getting it too. It was just one of those things where we were having to it was buffering, and then we had to refresh it. And
That's acceptable, though. You know, it's totally acceptable for not paying.
it's acceptable.
in my
I was
opinion.
really like, I was on the train of like, no, I don't want to pay for it, but but Scott was really, he was throwing jabs at me. He was, you know how Scott will get very insulty with you if you're not going with.
Yeah,
So
he starts being
yeah.
an asshole.
Yeah, pretty much. So he was really being the asshole, and he was really kind of digging at how cheap I am, which I am very cheap. But like he was really kind of, doing his thing.
Just
So I
because he's
was
got a
like-
big boy job now doesn't mean he's cool.
Well, yeah, but I just decided when that stream buffered for the 5th time or whatever, I was just like, yeah, fuck it. It's not that bad when you split the price 3 ways. So I was
No,
like,
it's not.
let's just buy it.
It's not a
Who
big
cares?
deal.
But now there's like people talking about how like people are out here demanding refunds, and now it was so confusing how we bought it because I'm the one with the ESPN Plus account, but we're doing it on his TV. So it's like I logged in through my computer to get it up on his TV, but then somehow because it was on his TV, his mom's credit card paid for it.
What the heck?
So it's just kind of, it's like, even if we wanted to get the refund, like, do I contact people because it's my ESPN Plus account, or does Cinder contact people
You
because
gotta
it's
you
her
gotta tell
money?
Cinder to
It's-
send an email, dude.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, who does, like, there's 2 separate people here.
Yeah.
So, and I don't really think it's worth getting a refund, just because we got our money's worth for what it was. Like, the buffering was happening during breaks, like during commercial breaks.
That's good. That's important. There you go.
Like
That's
it-
the
and-
important fact.
And there weren't any buffers during the Connor fight or any of the major fights. So it's like we really got what we paid for. So at this point,
Nice.
it becomes more labor to try to get a refund when there's
That's how, dude. That's how
a ton of
life
other
is.
people trying to get refunds. Yeah, exactly. You just got to
you could get
outweigh.
s-
You got to do the
you
weigh.
could
Like, which
get-
one's better?
You could get totally screwed over, and then you have to do more work to get like a refund back. You know, it could be so obnoxious. It's like
Yeah.
like
just
you
like, I'm
get in a
gonna bite
car
the bullet.
crash, and it's totally not your fault, but you gotta call the insurance. You gotta do all this stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
That is the epitome of the
it's the
situation.
world we live in.
Yeah, that is just. It's just you gotta. It's just like it's like fuck. I gotta look at my options here. What is my? How do I want to handle it? What
Dude, have
what
you-
makes me happy?
Have you heard about this whole Brexit thing going on? You've heard about Brexit, right?
I have, but it's one of those things. When you hear something, it's like, oh yeah, I know what that is. What is it then? Oh, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
It's kind of what it comes.
It's like when someone says a word, and they'll be like, "Oh, do you know what that means?" You're like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And then they're like, "What does it mean?" You're like, "I don't know."
Yeah, exactly. A part of my brain knows it. I just can't access it right now.
Okay. Well,
Do you know what it is?
it's basically Britain leaving the European Union.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, like free trade, visas, intercontinental or inter-country travel, all that stuff. Apparently, it's going really bad. So, yeah, so basically, like a bunch of the industries are failing. I mean, here's the thing: is like it could be Brexit, or it also could be COVID. Like I really don't know that much information, but thank God. Well, here's my point. Thank God that, imagine if the United States was 50
Yeah.
countries instead of 50 states, because that's kind of how Europe is in a sense. It's just more culturally diverse in a sense.
Yeah.
Like Americans don't really have that much culture. We eat hamburgers and
take us
hot
as-
dogs. It's that's
Oh yeah, like just like Americans. Yeah.
there's
okay.
just
like the straight
you
like
think of like
like the 4th of July thing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you just think of like Germany. Like they've been around since for thousands of years. You get a lot of diversity or a lot of like cultural I guess development, and America is just kind of like a mixing pot of everything. Or we're probably the
True.
most in terms of like a mixing pot. But yeah, like
Definitely.
that would be so tough. And then like California wants to leave, which we probably would, knowing us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess. What would we call it if it was the California version of Brexit? What would the name be? Cal-X?
I do like Cal-X, but
Like California excommunicated?
Exornia. That's bad.
Exornia, that's a good.
Oh, you like that one?
I kind of like that one. Exornia.
Exornia. Come join Exornia. Feel the freedom. All right, dude. Should we call it?
Yeah, let's call it on Exornia. I like that as a as an ending.
Okay.
Exclamation mark.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening.
Yes, thank you for listening.
Like, comment, subscribe, do all those
the works.
things. And signing off.
Yeah, we love
Episode
you.
55.
Peace out.